High Rock has taught you how to hide magic. I've had enough of eating uncooked food, not being able to cast a fire. Oh, wonderful! Let me make copies of this scroll, and done! Now, time to collect some hearts. The ritual will deprive all hearts you've collected of their functions, except their alchemical values. No need to kill them all at once. The ritual to locate an acolyte demands 5 hearts each time it is performed, utilizing the link between the plague and the acolytes. Yes, you should. Get me those hearts, hero. Five hearts. Good. Hearts be filled, blood be spilled, plague instilled, thou shalt yield. I've found one of them. Quickly, go, kill them now.
The Thalmor's actions...
Kill the acolyte, please!
Exactly
Kill
what
him
the Eagles and... will only devour Tamriel.
Kill the acolyte, please! Kill him before they find...
People are easily bewitched.
We ran far away from our homeland, into a freezing, inhospitable land that they called Skyrim. My brother, once a high noble son, the hope of our family, became a guard of a small, unbeknown village. We all adjusted to the life of a simple villager, not clinging to what used to be. We had to, as such is what we needed to do in order to survive. My brother's wife was pregnant a few years later, and I had become old enough that being called an aunt wouldn't be as awkward. And during these years, neither of them had told me of why the soldiers did what they did to our family. Then it was the time when the eagle soars, seeking to thrive, and the dragon rises, its flames burning the skies. Having recently moved to a new farming community, my brother was conscripted to fight the Thalmor against his wish of caring for his wife. We looked at him as he walked to the horizon with his newfound comrades, wearing shining armors, chanting glory and freedom. The Great War was over, or so they called. There was nothing great with that war, except its end. For that was when my brother would return. Every sunrise and sunset, my sister-in-law would hold their infant daughter to gaze upon that horizon, hoping he would return on that day. And one day, he finally returned with his comrades. The soldiers had put his head on a pike as they marched closer and closer and closer towards our village, chanting glory and justice. They didn't bother with the other villagers, for their target was clear. Having found out who my brother was, they came to wipe out his family. My sister-in-law, hands holding my niece, brought me to the inn's cellar. She promised me safety, that we would live through this. We trusted our lives with the village, believing in its vision, that together we can change what was designed and make hope blossom on barren lands. And this was how they repaid our faith. The Dubois are down below. I hid inside a barrel while the soldiers stormed the inn. I held my breath, fearing for my life, as the soldiers tortured my brother's wife. When they had had their way with her, they lit the torches and set the inn aflame to bury the memory of my family as they once tried years ago. Not until I was certain the soldiers had all left did I dare get out of the barrel and check on my sister-in-law, who laid lifelessly on the ground. My daughter was nowhere to be found, and I thought the fire claimed her. With that scorching heat, the crumbling ceiling, I knew that's the end. I held her hand to my heart, then I hugged her. If I must die, then I would find solace in death by my family's side. Yet, as I saw the world around me begin to crumble, I heard a whisper. She survived the soldiers' torture, but she couldn't make it out. With that last bit of strength of her life, she whispered to me a name. Saturnius.
I saw someone close to me die yesterday. Lived the life of a good person, yet the gods just
Harbinger?
took him with the plague.
As were all women, but only one of them became the arch-acolyte. The Imperial Legion must have wanted her for a reason. The villagers were right to turn her to the authority. What betrayal was there? A Dubois? She could be. I didn't hear the arch-acolyte's voice, so I can't tell for certain. But Suzanne may as well have faked her voice through magic. I had the Dubois figured for extinct. But it seems there's at least one who remains, continuing her ancestors' work of destruction and treason. Then let's see if her past will have an impact on the present. Find clues that can help us defeat the Arch-Acolyte and save everyone. Until then, let us beware of the Dubois' hatred, for she is no longer the girl, but the Arch-Acolyte.
She told me of this Saturnius for a purpose, and this purpose required me to stay alive, so I did. It was difficult, but I didn't take too long to find out who this Saturnius was, and his history with my family. Saturnius the First, predecessor of Emperor Titus II. It was during his reign that my family brought High Rock to war, claiming thousands of innocents. They called it the Dubois Wars, for it was not won. The nobles were weakened, and were unable to pay taxes to the emperor. Such negligence was therefore interpreted as betrayal, that by failing to pay their obligation, they had become thieves who stole from the empire. And so my grandfather started a war, swiping the kingdoms of High Rock, so that the justice he believed in could be served. And so a Breton family spilled Breton blood on our homeland, so that a Cyrodiilic emperor, well-fed and guarded, could wait to count his coin. My grandfather thought his cause was just, for it was done in service to the Empire, for there existed a greater good than his own country. He never expected that in the end, those whom he fought for the Emperor against would make deals with his very liege, promising to repay the taxes. Then my family and the war they fought were no longer necessary to the Empire. Easily the Emperor cast the Dubois aside, accused us of treason. Honorable men shed blood in wars, believing there is solace in glory. Yet what is glory but a reward mechanism manufactured by those men of greed? The powers that be brought my grandfather to his execution, without remorse, without shame, and his family was since put under house arrest. On the day my grandfather died, patriots stood accused of treason. The nation's servants became its worst enemies. And so it has been revealed to me that mine is the legacy of a traitor.
It's a good day for adventuring. I don't think it's... Perhaps when we can be certain that we truly are the desire of each other's hearts, I will feel at ease with this.
I don't... Yes, but you can do better than that. Can't you?
Be careful!
I have learned the truth, yet I dare not seek justice. For when wrong was done upon you by a criminal, you can kill them or appeal to an authority. Yet what could I do when the injustice was done not by one or two criminals, but an entire empire of greed, murders, and deceit? Perhaps the best I could do was to stay alive. The Empire should believe that I was taken by the fire. No reason for them not to. I decided to go to Markarth. Perhaps there I could finally be at peace within the mountains, close to the land I once called home long, long ago. We spend our lives searching for a perfect home. Not a house, nor a shelter, but home. Some homes more different than the others, but this home is what we spend the entirety of our life's brief while to find, to
Good to
earn,
have a hero around.
to try to live in. My home is peace, to be safe and settled.
Stormcloaks think they fight for
Not a
glory,
glorious
but like all
campaign,
wars,
nor
they
an
fight
extravagant
for man.
banquet. Home
Fifth
for me
Arrows
is
already
never
covered
having to
already.
run again. But in the end, I finally learned that there can be no peace. Not for me. For mine is the legacy of a traitor, intolerable to the mighty Empire. As once again those shining soldiers in steel, with their chants of glory and country, had come to claim their home.
Archmage. Oh, really? What is it? That's sweet of you. As beautiful as we are. What do you wish of me? Let's move on.
Five hearts. Good. Hearts be filled, blood be spilled, plague instilled, thou shalt yield. I found one of them. Quickly, go, kill them now.
Without much objection, the authorities of Markarth allowed the soldiers into the city, aided their hunt of that traitor, barely an adult. When I heard the marching sounds of soldiers outside my home, instead of agony or wrath, my heart was filled with nothing but questions. Was Markarth not meant for me? If it is not supposed to be where I am at peace, then which village, which city, which nation is? Or perhaps fate never even intended for me to find that peace, for it has gifted me with the Dubois name, pit me against an empire. For a joke. First, the divines made the heroes who have earned the world's respect through their fulfillment of justice and defense of the weak. Then, they made me. If the Almighties have willed that some are fated to become the great men, and the others their stepping stones, is there a meaning to fight it? But this life is mine, not for the gods above the heavens or the kings in their palaces to rule as they see fit. I chose to survive, even if that is through the ruin of the order they've built and profited from. I ran from the warrens before the soldiers saw me, made my way to the wilderness to train myself and prepare for one last journey. To find that hero who rode the dragon to slaughter the villains and burned their homes. Then kill him. Livia Salvian's parents died to the Dubois soldiers. Then he killed mine. If I kill him, then myself, perhaps this cycle of hate will end forever.